Welcome to Wellness with Annabel. Today's class is going to be a balance focus class. Please don't let that put you off. I guess you already know that because of the title of the video anyway, otherwise you wouldn't be watching right now. So we're just going to jump straight in. We're going to warm up from our feet up to our heads this time. So we're going to start standing on our mats. We're going to just stand with our feet comfortably apart. Nice ease through the knees, no locking through the legs. If you prefer to, please feel free to stand off your mat and onto the floor. Some people prefer a harder surface. Maybe try both and see what feels best for you. So we're just going to start by rocking backwards and forwards, moving our weight forwards and back, maybe lifting the toes, lifting the heels, maybe just noticing the different pressures throughout the feet, and trying to just get to know the soles of your feet. We don't often pay much attention to this part of our body. Maybe moving your weight from side to side. Maybe doing some gentle circles. Not looking for any Michael Jackson tricks here. And coming to a point of stillness, we're going to bring our hands to heart center and just stand with a nice tallness through the spine. And gently close the eyes. If that's available for you today. If not, please feel free to just lower the gaze. You know, sometimes if you're thinking about balancing, it can sort of throw you off. And just taking a few breaths here, taking some time to drop into your practice. Become present on your mat. Feeling yourself growing tall with every inhale. And feeling the soles of your feet grounding into the earth beneath you with every exhale. When we balance, we've got this continuous push and pull through our bodies. We're trying to stay up nice and tall, pulling ourselves upwards, up through the crown of the head, whilst pulling ourselves down, grounding our feet. It's just taking some time to find that awareness through your body. See what that feels like whilst you're still standing with both feet on the ground. Slowly releasing your hands and gently opening your eyes. And we're going to just start a very, very basic warm-up. Just walking out the feet one at a time. As we sometimes do in our downward dog, I'm sure we will do this in our practice today also. And then we're just going to take one of our feet and do some ankle rolls. So rolling through the ball of the foot, over onto the outside, and then the other way. Feel free to bring your hands to your hips, and you're getting a slight sense of balance here because your weight should be in your standing leg more so. I'm going to swap our legs over now and roll through the other foot, the other ankle, and the other way. And releasing and just settling those feet back in. I'm going to move up towards our knees now. I'm going to bring our hands onto our knees and just do some circles outwards. Little frog legs. And in. And once again, just releasing. We're going to bring our hands onto our hips and we're going to step our feet a little wider than hips distance. And we're going to come into some good old-fashioned hip rolls. So just moving your hips around to the back, the side, front, and really exaggerating your movements. Hopefully, you feel comfortable enough doing this in your own home. And the other way. And coming back to centre. Okay, we're going to bring our arms out to the sides now, and we're just going to do some gentle twists from side to side. Trying to keep our feet still, our hips facing forwards. We're just moving our top body. Just finding gentle twists through the waist. And now we're going to just loosen up. Feel free to move your hips and just move your arms through as they naturally go. Just finding some movement and some motion through the body, making sure not to go too fast. You don't want to make yourself dizzy, especially not for today's practice. So just be mindful of your own sort of equilibrium in your head. Okay, bring your feet closer together now. We're just going to do some shoulder rolls back. And forwards. And relaxing. We're going to come into our eagle arms. Now eagle, we're going to practice in full today. But for our eagle arms, we're going to take our wings out nice and wide. And we're going to cross our right arm underneath our left, bringing our right palm up towards the face. Now here we've got this stretch coming through the left shoulder. We can just gently pull the left arm across, bringing our right hand further in front of our face. Now for some of you, this will be enough of a stretch. For others, feel free to take your bind here, bringing your arms in front of yourself. And just take a few deep breaths wherever you are. One last breath. And releasing your arms out to the sides, and we're going to take it the other side. So this time left arm crosses underneath right, left hand comes up towards the face, and we're going to give that gentle pull on the right arm, opening up through the back of the right shoulder. Again, this may be enough of a stretch for you today. If you want to, feel free to take your bind with the arms. 3 nice big deep breaths. Last one. And releasing your arms out to the side and back down. We're just going to do some gentle head rolls, so bringing the chin down to the chest, keeping your shoulders back, foot relaxed. Gently rolling the head up towards one shoulder. And as you exhale, rolling it down, chin to chest, and slowly up to the other side. And just keep going. These nice gentle movements. In time with your own breath. And making this your last breath as you exhale, bringing your chin back down to your chest in the center and inhaling your head up to rise. Okay, we're going to come into our first balance now. Please, please, please feel free to use a wall to support you, or a chair, or whatever you've got available to you. There's no pressure here to be perfect or to balance on one leg for hours on end or anything like that. So we're going to come into our tree pose. So again, just taking those few minutes to be aware of the soles of your feet. Our standing leg to begin with is going to be our right leg, so we're going to shift our weight onto the right and just gently lift our weight off of the left foot. Maybe coming up onto the toes, maybe bringing your heel towards the right ankle. When we balance, we want to find focus, we want to move slowly, and we want to breathe. So just thinking about those 3 things now. Finding your point of focus can either be somewhere directly in front of you, or maybe something on the floor, but making sure it's sort of about 2 meters distance away. We should all be familiar with how far 2 meters is these days. Making sure it's not directly down beneath you. If you're looking down, you're quite likely to go down, or more likely to go down, should I say. So finding a focal point for yourself. And when you feel ready, if you feel ready, maybe sliding that left foot up to the right calf. Feel free to do whatever you want to with your arms, whether your hands are in prayer in front of you, or whether they're just down to the sides, using them to balance. If you feel comfortable here, feel free to stay here. If you want to challenge yourself a little further, maybe sliding that foot further up the leg, bringing it onto the thigh. Making sure that you don't bring your foot to your knee. We don't want to dislocate any knees here today. Finding your focus, remembering your breath. And if you're able to here, think about that pushing and pulling, that pushing towards the ground, and that pulling up through the chest, through the core, all the way up through the crown of the head. Maybe taking the arms up overhead. Maybe bring your arms out to the side. Becoming your tree. Maybe your branches are waving in the wind. And when you're ready, slowly releasing that left foot and bringing it down onto the mat. I'm going to just move straight onto the left side now, so really planting that left foot in, standing strong through the left leg, and just lifting the heel of the right foot, coming up onto the toes, finding that focus point, either using the same one if it worked for you, or finding a different one if it didn't. Maybe moving the heel towards your ankle. Maybe sliding it up the leg, bringing it onto the calf. And just playing around, seeing where you feel comfortable. Maybe bring it up onto the thigh and realise, whoa, this is too wobbly for me. And you move out. You may bring it up onto the thigh and think, wow, this is easier. Just listening to your body, not being afraid to try new things, but moving slowly, remembering to breathe. You'll also probably find that one side is easier to balance on than the other. And that's perfectly normal. We all have a stronger side. Finding that pushing and pulling, that contrast of feelings through the body as we push down through the sole of the foot and rise up through the crown of the head. And when you're ready, slowly releasing. Taking your right foot down. Fabulous. If you managed to stay balanced, then you're going to find this class easy. If you didn't, don't worry, you might find it easy still. We're going to crack on. We're going to come on into our sun salutations. We're going to just do a classic sun salutation to begin with. Again, just to find that movement throughout some more of the body. We're still in our little bit of our warm-up phase here. So again, finding your feet comfortably together, no further than hips distance apart. Lengthening through the legs, tucking that tailbone under, and standing nice and tall in your mountain pose. From here we're going to inhale the arms up overhead, maybe taking the gaze up towards the thumbs. And exhaling as we fold ourselves forwards, coming into that forward fold. Feeling free to bend your knees. There's no pressure to have straight legs. Inhaling to a halfway lift, looking up towards the horizon with a flat back. Exhaling to your forward fold. From here we're going to step the left foot back, dropping the left knee down, releasing the left toes, lifting through the chest, pushing the hips forwards, and here we're still finding some balance. So gently lift the arms up overhead, reaching up through the chest, sinking deep into the hips. Exhaling, bringing the hands down, either side of that right foot, tucking the left toes under, lifting through the left knee and stepping the right foot back, coming into your plank pose. We're going to lower ourselves down, knees, chest and chin, keeping the elbows bent in towards the body and inhaling, lifting through the chest. Bring our shoulders back. Exhaling, pushing back onto all fours, onto your hands and knees, tucking your toes under. We're going to lift our hips up and back, coming into our downward facing dog. So as we did right at the beginning of the class, we're going to take some walkouts with the legs here. We're just walking the legs out, one at a time. Finding your comfort in your downward dog, drawing your heels down, your hips up, Bring your heart back towards your knees. And here we're going to inhale as we look forwards. We're going to step the left foot forwards, bring it in between the hands at the front of the mat. Lowering down now on the right knee, releasing the right toes. Pushing those hips forwards, lifting through the chest, finding our balance and inhaling the arms up, overhead. Lifting through the chest, sinking into the hips. Exhaling, bring the hands down either side of that left foot, tucking the right toes under, lifting through the right knee, and we're going to step the right foot up to meet the left at the top of the mat. Coming into our forward fold. Again, no pressure to keep your legs straight here. We're going to inhale, coming up to our halfway lift. Exhaling, going deeper. Inhaling, coming all the way back up to standing. Arms up overhead and hands down to heart center. We're going to move straight into our sun salutation B next with our first balance. So standing nice and tall in your mountain pose. We're going to inhale the arms up overhead. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling to a halfway lift. Exhaling, going deeper. Here we're going to bend our knees, bring our chest down, sweeping our hands back, and as we inhale, we're going to bring the arms up, the torso up. Our sit bones still pointed down towards the floor. Our knees are still bent. We're sitting down in our invisible chair. And slowly we're going to take our hands back down into our forward fold. We're going to step both of our feet back into our plank. And gently lower ourselves down, either bringing our knees down first, or just bending the elbows back and in towards the body, coming down in one nice long line. And inhaling, lifting through the chest, keeping the shoulders back, whether you're in your cobra position, a baby cobra, or up with your knees lifted in your upward facing dog. Just being mindful of your lower back, making sure your core is still engaged. And slowly we're going to shift our weight back, coming in to our downward facing dog. Taking a nice deep breath here. Inhaling now, lifting up your right leg. And stepping the right foot forwards, bringing it in between the hands at the front of the mat. Finding our balance here and inhaling, lifting up through the arms, coming into your warrior one. Being mindful of your back foot, you can either stay up on the back toes or you can place the back foot down, making sure our hips are both facing forwards. From here we're going to slowly open up to the left, coming into our warrior two. Keeping a nice bend through the front knee. We've opened up through the hips. Our right knee still is facing forwards. Our left hip, however, and our torsos are facing the front. Bring our arms out to the sides, relaxing the shoulders down. We're going to come back to our warrior one here. Coming up this time onto our toes if we weren't before. We're going to bring our arms out to the sides and we're going to come into our eagle arms. Crossing the right underneath the left, maybe binding them together. If not, if that's not available for you, just taking your hands onto each shoulder. Trying to make sure the right is still underneath the left. And just finding a bind that way. From here, we're going to step the left foot up gently. You don't have to. Of course, we're going to come into our warrior three. So if you're familiar with this and you can come in straight from warrior one, please feel free. We're going to shift our weight forwards. We're going to slowly straighten this front leg, maybe keeping a gentle bend through the knee. As we bring our bodies down, our back leg is going to come up. Trying to keep our left toes pointed down towards the mat. trying to keep both of our hips parallel to the floor. Finding our balance, finding that focus point. And as we release, we're going to step back into our warrior one, keeping our arms in our eagle pose. We're just going to gently see if we can lift them up and releasing, bringing them out to the sides, taking them down either side of that right foot. Rotating on the back foot, we're going to step the right foot back to meet it, coming into our plank. And we're going to lower ourselves down, inhaling up, lifting through the chest, and exhaling, shifting our weight back into our downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. Next inhale, we're going to take the left leg up into the sky and step it forwards in between the hands at the front of the mat. Finding your balance here and inhaling the arms up overhead, coming into your warrior one. Again, being aware of that back foot, whether it's up on the toes or placed down, whatever is better for you. If you're not sure, trying both. And gently as we exhale, we're going to open up towards the right. Keeping that left knee bent, facing forwards, shoulders relaxed. And slowly we're going to turn forwards once more, coming into our warrior one, coming up onto the toes this time on the back foot. We're going to bring our arms out to the sides. Crossing the left arm under the right this time, and either coming into your bind or holding onto the opposite shoulder. If you want to try coming straight in from here, or stepping the back leg forwards a little first. Slowly bring that weight forwards, bringing your torso down as that leg comes up behind you, pointing the toes downwards towards the mat. Finding your focus, moving slowly, breathing. And slowly stepping back, coming back into your warrior one, lifting through the arms, bending into that front knee, releasing the arms, bringing them out to the sides, and bringing your hands down onto the mat, either side of that front foot, making sure that back foot is still in that nice position. We're going to step the front foot back, coming into our plank, gently lowering ourselves down, inhaling, lifting through the chest, exhaling, pushing back into your downward facing dog, taking a couple of breaths here. Exhaling. Remembering that if we fall out of balance at any time, not to punish yourself for it, it happens to absolutely everyone. Inhaling, looking forwards. Stepping both feet up to the top of the mat, coming into your forward fold. Inhaling to a halfway lift. Exhaling, folding deeper over the legs. Bending the knees, bringing the chest down, and inhaling the arms up, coming into your chair pose, really tucking that tailbone under, tucking your belly button in towards the spine, engaging the core. Releasing down, forward fold. Next inhale, coming all the way up to standing, bringing the arms up overhead. Exhaling, bringing your hands down to heart center. We're going to flow through another sun salutation B with another little addition in for our balancing. So when you're ready, inhaling the arms up overhead. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, going deeper, bending the knees, and inhaling the arms up, coming into our chair. Exhaling, folding forwards, stepping both feet back, coming into your plank, and lowering yourself down. Inhaling, lifting through the chest. Exhaling, shifting your weight back into your downward facing dog. Inhaling the right leg up. Exhaling, stepping the right foot forwards. Bring it in between the hands. Inhaling, coming up to your warrior one. Exhaling to your warrior two. Inhaling, coming back to warrior one. Bring your arms out to the sides, crossing the right arm underneath the left, and either taking the opposite shoulder or taking your bind. We're going to gently start shifting our weight forward, maybe taking that little step. Coming into our warrior three. Taking our body down as our back leg comes up, toes are pointed down. We're going to bend through the knee as we slowly try to lift our bodies up, coming up to standing, but standing on that right leg, keeping the weight off the left leg if we can. From here we're going to come into our full eagle pose. We're going to cross our left leg over the right. As if we're sitting down cross-legged, we're going to try and wrap our left foot around the back of the right calf. Please don't worry if this isn't available for you today. If it's not, just do whatever you can, whatever your body is allowing you to do. I'm going to sit deeper. Squeeze those legs together a little tighter. Squeeze those arms together a little tighter. Maybe coming down a little deeper. And gently and slowly lifting ourselves back up, bringing that left leg back up. And we're going to shoot that left leg back behind us, stepping back into our warrior one, lifting up through the arms. Exhaling, releasing the arms out to the sides. And taking the arms down, the hands down either side of that front foot. Maybe moving that left foot, that back foot back a little further. We're going to step back into our plank. And gently lowering ourselves down. Inhaling and lifting through the chest. Exhaling, shifting back into your downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here. And just taking this as a little bit of reflection time. How did that feel? Did you manage to do it all? Did you manage to do none of it? Did you try? Does it matter? As long as you didn't hurt yourself, it doesn't matter what the results were. We're going to inhale, take our left leg up into the sky and step the left foot forwards. Bring it in between the hands at the front of the mat. Inhaling, coming up to your warrior one. Exhaling, opening up to your warrior two. Inhaling, coming back to your warrior one. Taking your arms out to the sides. Remembering if you couldn't do it on the first side, you might be able to do it on this side. Maybe that your first side was better, maybe this side is going to be better. We don't know yet. We're going to cross the left arm underneath the right, either taking the hands to the shoulders or taking your bind. Shifting the body weight forwards, maybe taking that little hop. And when you're ready, find your focus. breathe. Gently, slowly moving the torso forwards, your leg up behind you. We're going to bend our back leg and slowly see if we can bring ourselves up to standing. We may have a little wobble. We may completely fall out. We're all human. I'm going to cross our right leg over the left, trying to wrap our toes around the left calf. Again, not worrying too much if we can't. Maybe moving a little deeper. Maybe squeezing a little tighter. Maybe sitting down a little further. And when you're ready, gently releasing. Keeping that weight off the right foot. The toe might come down just to balance you. We're going to shoot that right leg back and step back into a warrior one. Lifting the arms up. Taking them out to the sides. And bringing them down onto the mat. Either side of that front foot. Maybe stepping that back foot a little bit further back. And coming into your plank. Gently lowering yourselves down. Inhaling, lifting through the chest, keeping the shoulders back, being mindful of your lower back. And exhaling into your downward facing dog. Taking a nice deep breath here. Next inhale, going to look forwards and step both feet up to the top of the mat, coming into your forward fold. Inhaling to a halfway lift. Exhaling, going deeper. Bending through the knees and inhaling the arms and torso up, coming into our chair pose, tucking that tailbone under, engaging through the core, sucking the belly button towards the spine. Exhaling, forward fold. Next inhale, we're going to come up to our standing position, arms up overhead. Exhaling, bringing your hands down to heart center. And we've got one more to go. So finding your comfort in your mountain pose. Inhaling, bringing the arms up overhead. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling to a halfway lift. Exhaling, going deeper. Bending through the knees. Bringing the arms up in overhead, coming into your chair pose. Releasing your hands down and stepping both feet back. Coming into your plank. Gently lowering yourselves down. Inhaling up, lifting through the chest. Exhaling back into your downward facing dog. Next inhale, right leg is going to come up. Step forwards in between the hands, finding your balance, inhaling the arms up, coming up to your warrior one, exhaling, opening out to warrior two, inhaling, coming back to your warrior one, arms coming out to the sides, eagle arms, right arm underneath the left, taking that little step forwards, and in your own time when you feel ready, shifting your weight forwards, bringing that back leg up behind you, toes pointed down, hips are parallel to the floor, and slowly bending through that back knee, bringing yourself up to standing, ideally with that left leg still off the mat. We're going to Cross our left leg over the right, coming into our eagle pose, sitting down a little deeper. We've bound our arms together, we've bound our legs together. You can squeeze a little tighter, sit a little lower. And from here we're going to unravel. We're going to bend the left knee up. We're going to release our eagle arms out to the sides. And if we can, see if we can just take a hold of our heel on the left foot, or maybe the toes if that's easier for you. And from here, if you feel comfortable, if you're well balanced, try kicking through the left leg. Trying to keep the shoulders back, a nice length through the spine. We've got this pulling against our left foot now, which may help with the balance. A bit more if you can't get your legs straight. And when you're ready, gently releasing, bringing your arms either out to the side or just down by your sides. Maybe even bringing your hands to heart center as we kick this left leg back. Stepping back into our warrior one. And we can lift our arms up overhead. Reaching up nice and high. And exhaling as we bring both of our hands down either side of that front foot. Maybe stepping that back leg a little further back. Right leg steps back, coming into your plank. Gently lowering yourself down. Inhaling to your upward facing dog or into your cobra. Exhaling, pushing back into your downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here. Again, a little time for some reflection. Just feeling, or noticing how your body feels. Next, inhale, taking the left leg up, stepping the left foot forwards, bringing it in between the hands, and bringing your arms up overhead, coming to warrior one, opening up to warrior two. Next, inhale, coming back to warrior one, bringing your arms out to the sides, eagle arms, left arm underneath the right. Either shoulders or bind, your choice. And again in your own time, maybe taking that little step forwards, shifting your weight forwards, bringing your torso down as that back leg comes up behind you. Hips are parallel to the floor, toes are pointed down. We're going to bend through the knees. We slowly bring ourselves up to standing. We're going to cross our right leg over the left, coming into our eagle, binding the legs together, sitting down nice and low, squeezing the legs, squeezing the arms, still breathing, moving slowly, starting to unravel. First with the legs, then with the arms, taking them out to the sides. And if we can, taking a grip of that right foot, trying to keep your focus on your point. And again, if you're comfortable here, maybe stretching the leg out in front. Trying to keep that length still through the spine. When you're ready, releasing the arms, taking them wherever you like. We're going to send this right leg back, coming in to our warrior one, lifting the arms up overhead. Exhaling, bending into that front knee, taking the hands down either side of that front foot, maybe stepping the back foot a little further back, stepping the front foot back to meet it, coming into your plank, gently lowering yourself down. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, shifting back into your downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here. Your next inhale, looking forwards and stepping both feet up to the top of the mat, coming into your forward fold. Inhaling to a halfway lift. Exhaling, going deeper. Bending the knees, reaching the arms up, coming into your chair pose. Exhaling into your forward fold. Next inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Arms coming up overhead. Hands slowly coming down to heart center and gently releasing. So we're going to come down onto our mats now. We're going to come down on our toes in a toe balance, with it being a balance flow. So we're going to come up onto our tiptoes. We can bring our arms out in front of us, parallel to the floor. This may help with our balance. Or if you want to, bring your hands to heart center. I'll let you choose. We're going to bend our knees, trying to keep our backs nice and straight, as if we're sliding ourselves down a wall. Coming down as far as we can. If you're feeling any pain, drop the heels and come down however you feel you're able to. We're balanced here. Maybe coming up onto more of a tiptoe. And wherever you are, we're going to reach our arms forwards as we come back onto our sit bones and into a different kind of balance. So we're going to balance on those sit bones. We're rocking ourselves back until we find that point of balance. You can take a hold of the backs of your knees, lifting the chest up, bringing your feet up so your calves are parallel to the floor. Finding this nice length. Breathing, smiling, maybe taking one arm, maybe taking both to the sides. Keeping this nice proudness through the chest. And releasing, hugging yourselves into your knees. Maybe taking your forehead down to your knees. And slowly bringing your head back up. I won't make you do it again. We're going to slide ourselves to the front of our mats and gently release ourselves down onto our backs, keeping our knees bent up, the soles of our feet on the mat for now. And just relaxing, releasing into the mat, maybe taking your hands onto your belly or down by your sides. You're free to close your eyes. I remember someone once telling me in a balancing class, if you fall out of a balance, that means you're human. If you try again, that's what makes you a yogi. I really like that. Everyone falls out of balance. Of course they do. We are human. But it's the trying again that matters. And we're going to bring our knees into the chest here. Maybe taking a nice big hug around the knees. Pulling them in, drawing them in towards your chest. I'm going to release the left leg out and take it down onto the mat. And taking the right arm out to the side, palm facing down onto the floor. We're going to guide this right knee over towards the left. Coming into our reclined twist, trying to keep both of our shoulders down on the mat, if we can. Maybe turning your gaze away from your knee towards your right hand. And taking some nice deep breaths here. Slowly coming back to centre. Drawing that right knee in once more. Releasing the right leg down as we draw the left knee in. Hugging it in tight towards the body. And taking your left arm out to the side. Gently taking that left knee over towards the right. Trying to keep both shoulders down. Maybe turning your gaze away from your knee towards your left hand. Breathing, relaxing. And slowly coming back to centre. Hugging both knees in one last time, maybe bringing your forehead up into a proper little ball. And when you're ready, releasing. Taking your legs down, taking your arms down. Just moving your legs further away from each other so you've got that space. Allowing your feet to flop out to the sides. Maybe walking your shoulder blades underneath you gently. Moving your arms away so you've got space between them and your body. And if you haven't already, gently closing your eyes. For your Shavasana, your final resting pose. Focusing on your breath. Just observing every inhale and every exhale. Bringing your awareness to the soles of your feet. The awareness that we started with at the beginning of the class today. And just noticing how they feel now that they're not touching the ground. Maybe sending some love to them. As always, please feel free to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you want or need. And when you're ready, starting to bring your awareness back into your physical body. Maybe moving your fingers and your toes. Taking a nice deep breath in. And full breath out. And in your own time, making your way back to a comfortable seated position. Sitting with a nice tallness through the spine. Just taking a moment here to give thanks to your body. Maybe again giving thanks to the soles of your feet for carrying your weight through the day and through your class today. And giving thanks to yourself for trying and for allowing the time to practice today. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining our Balance Flow today.